Someone said politics is everything, and they were right. It touches everything, even dates. You know the fruit of the date palm? Dates are now the target of a campaign. Muslims in Europe are being told to boycott Israeli dates to avoid breaking their Ramadan fasts with what's being called the taste of racism. If successful, this campaign would hurt Israel. It's a big producer of dates. 50% of its exports go to Europe. And this is not the first time Israel is being targeted in this fashion. So who's behind this campaign? Have such campaigns in the past worked? And what's Israel's response? Here's a report. Ahead of Ramadan, a protest is brewing in Europe. A protest against Israeli dates. Muslims across the continent are being encouraged to avoid dates from Israel. They're being asked to not break their fasts with what's being called the taste of racism. The campaign is called Check the Label. It urges people to check the labels of the dates they're buying. If the label says the fruits come from Israel, consumers should put them back on the shelf. But why dates? Because of their symbolic importance to Muslims. They're traditionally eaten at sunset during Ramadan to break the daylight fast. This campaign has been launched by a UK-based NGO called Friends of Al-Aqsa. They're urging people to send a clear message to Israel. This is their way of condemning what they call Israel's illegal occupation and apartheid in Palestine. They aim to hit Israel's coffers to hurt them. And if this movement gains traction, it actually could. The global trade in dates is worth almost $2 billion. Israel is among the top 5 exporters. 50% of Israel dates are exported to Europe. The UK, the Netherlands, France, Spain and Italy import huge quantities of these dates. In 2020, the UK imported dates worth about $9 million from Israel. The boycott organizers believe the Muslim community plays a huge role here. They say a large proportion of that income comes from buying dates during Ramadan. About 7% of the population in Britain is Muslim, and together they can harm the lucrative Israeli industry. This boycott call also comes at a time of increased violence between Israel and Palestine. Just yesterday, Palestinian attackers carried out several drive-by shootings in Jericho. An Israeli American was shot dead in the incident. Earlier, there was a rampage by Jewish settlers in West Bank's Palestinian villages. One Palestinian civilian was killed and dozens of cars and homes burned. 67 Palestinians have been killed just this year. This includes 13 children. That's one child death every 5 days. On the Israeli side, 14 people have been killed. Last year saw the highest number of deaths in years. More than 150 Palestinians and over 20 Israelis were killed in the West Bank and Israel. The British NGO has accused Israel of apartheid crimes. And a date boycott is their response. But it's not the first time a boycott like this has been tried. Last year, Unilever sold the ice cream brand Ben & Jerry's to a local licensee in Israel and the West Bank. A month later, the ice cream company filed a lawsuit. They said they no longer want to sell their products in the occupied West Bank. The ice cream war got a strong response from Israel, though the matter was later resolved. As for the Check the Label campaign, it was tried before too, over a decade ago. The Israeli ambassador to the UK then had the perfect response to it. He said, "Whilst others choose to export hate, Israel will continue to successfully export dates."